Hello everybody, it's Nick here with Nick Tolman Music, and today we are going to continue our beginner guitar lesson series using Hal Leonard's Guitar Method Book 1. Let's get started. Alright, so today we're going to look at page 8. And before we do, just a reminder, please check out my Patreon page. These guitar lessons are coming to you totally free here on YouTube. But if you would like to support Nick Tolman Music, either by saying thank you for these lessons and this content, or by wanting to see this content continue, please consider becoming a patron on my Patreon account today. Thanks. Alright, so on page 8, we are going to learn 3 new notes. So far in the book, we have learned 3 notes, which are E, F, and G, all found on the first string. We're going to learn 3 new notes today, which are found on the second string, or what we call the B string. Alright, these notes are going to be very similar to the notes we learned, but they're different notes. Okay, so first off, we're going to learn B, which is open. Okay, it's the open second string. You can see on the diagram here on the page, but you can also see on the staff that B is found on the middle line of the staff. It's always on that line. Whenever you see a note on that line, right in the middle of the staff, it will always be B. Okay, so here's B. Now, the next note that we're going to learn is C. C is going to be on the first fret on the second string. And it is found on the third space. Okay, so if you count from the bottom on the spaces, 1, 2, 3, third space. Okay. And then lastly, we're going to learn D. And D is going to be played with our third finger on the third fret of the second string. And it will be found on the fourth line. So if you count from the bottom, 1, 2, 3, 4, that note is D. Okay? So we have B, C, and D. We've also learned E, F, and G on the first string. All right? So for this lesson today, we're only going to be focusing on the notes on the second string, B, C, and D. Open, 1, 3 with our fingers. Okay? All right, so let's take a look at exercise 9. Now, at this point, this exercise should be really pretty easy for you. You've already worked out a lot of exercises that are more complicated with quarter notes, half notes, things like that. We're just using new notes. Now, the thing that you might start to run into that we're playing on a new string is a right hand issue, making sure that you're picking the correct string. Because before we were just doing that one string, now we have another string to think about, okay? So again, the way to focus on this is to do things slowly. If you need to spend some time looking at your right hand as you play and practicing moving between these 2 strings that we've learned, spend some time doing that. Play the exercises slowly, build them up gradually, and you're going to have no problems, all right? So let's go ahead and take a look at exercise 9. We're starting the metronome at 72. We're dealing with all whole notes. Again, we're doing all downstrokes, okay? So here we go, starting with B. The only 3 notes we're doing are B, C, and D. Go. Oh, 1, 2, ready, and play. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4, off. Good. Now on these kind of simple exercises, it's a really good idea to just really focus on technique, right? Making sure that your fingers and your left hand are really up on their tips. Making sure that your placement on the fret is good, that you're not getting dead sounds, you're not getting buzzing sounds, you're not getting gaps in between the notes, that it's all smooth and perfect, okay? On the simple exercises is the really time to seek for perfection, as perfect as you can get it. before you either make it faster or move on, okay? I had a great music teacher who would always say, don't practice something until you get it right. Practice something until you can't get it wrong. And that's the idea. Practice this as many times as you need to where it is just totally solid. You know it. It's not a problem. You're not going to ever mess it up, okay? So let's go ahead and take this up to 120. Again, you're building up to this tempo nice and slowly and gradually. You're not jumping way ahead. Just take it nice and slow. It's okay to go slow. It's okay to take your time. Here we go. Here is exercise 9. 1, 2, 1, 2, ready, and 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, off. That's the idea, all whole notes. All right, so let's take a look at 10. Exercise 10 is going to be using half notes, which again, half notes get 2 beats rather than 4 like a whole note gets. All right, so here's exercise 10 at 72 on the metronome. 1, 2, ready, and play. Note, half, note, 1, 2, 1, 2, 2, 1, 2, half, note, 1, 2, 3, 4, off. And there it is. All right, nothing fancy. It's just half notes. Again, you're just practicing this until it is as good as you can possibly get it, and that it's very consistent, that you're continually playing it as good as you can. All right, here we go. Here is 120 on the metronome. 1, 2, 1, 2, ready, play. Note, half, note, note, half, note, half, note, half, note, half, note, half, note, 2, 3, 4, off. And that's the faster tempo. Let's take a look at number 11, exercise 11. We're jumping back down to 72 on the metronome. We're going to be playing quarter notes, right? So quarter note gets 1 beat. It should line right up with the metronome. So here we go. 1, 2, ready, and play. 2, 3, 4, off. Jumping that up to a faster tempo, here is 120. 1, 2, 1, 2, ready, play. 2, 3, 4, off. That's all there is to it for today's lesson. Thank you so much for tuning in. Happy practicing. Please leave comments below if you have any questions or concerns, and I will do my best to answer those for you. Please stay tuned for next lesson. We'll see you next time.